Front end assembly. On the front end assembly pack we have 7 pieces. The first piece, as with the back pack, is the base frame that goes down on the floor. Then we have the wall mounting frame section, which on this end here has an additional piece attached to it, which is what we use for the door mounting. We have the door header. We have the other side door brace, or the side frame for the door. Now on a 6 foot we have 1 glazing bar. On an 8 foot we would have 2. We have the corner brace, which is a 3/4 by 3/4 by 1/16 angle, as with the back. In fact, these two, this and the back and front section, are both interchangeable. Then we have the door side brace, which is a piece of 3/4 by 1/8 aluminum. Now, in addition to this pack, we also have, as with the back pack, we have the corner pack, which consists of the roof section and the wall section. Now we've gone ahead and we've laid our parts out as we did with the back section, so they're in approximate position, as you can see, ready for the general assembly. Now one thing I must ask you to note is that if we zoom in where the door is at the bottom section, you'll note where the door hole is, there is a D marked. All of our units, when they go out, even if they're painted, you will find that there is a mark on the hole for the door frame. This saves any confusion. We've now gone ahead and installed our base frame and bolted it into position. As you can see. Note the orientation of the angle on the cross brace. It's facing towards the outside. Also note that the door frame with the mark D. Then we have the final section, which is the wall frame. Corner bracket assembly. This is between the wall and the roof section. Okay, we used the brackets that we got out of our pack, and what we'll do is we're going to first of all install some bolts. Now the first bolts we want to install is we want to put in the roof section, we want to put 1 in the lower slot, and we want to put 1 in the upper slot on the side. Now on the leg we're going to need to put 2 in the bottom slot. The first one will be for the door side brace, and then the next one's going to be used for the installation of our bracket. Now here we also want to put 1 additional T-bolt into the top slot, as so. Bring our bracket together and now we'll bolt it up. Now I'm going to move those top T-bolts out of the way for the time being, and we'll start the assembly. Now I've gone ahead, I've installed the first 3 nuts onto the bracket to retain it in place. Now we've got the corner brace which goes over the bottom screw bolt here, and we lock that down. And that completes our bracket installation to our wall. We've still got our bolt in the bottom here for the cross brace, and we've got our 2 bolts to the top. Now what I suggest you do here, to keep them out of the way and to stop them dropping, is to just put a nut on them to lock them in position. These will be used when we come to the wall assembly, on the main assembly of the unit. What will happen is the wall will drop into here, and then we will loosen these off and just drop them up into place. That completes the installation of this bracket. Now this is the same installation that we'll use on the back section. The next section for assembly is our roof frame to our wall mounting frame. This is the second bracket you use, again as like the back, it's identical, it comes from our pack. Remember that when you put these 2 pieces together, you want to make sure that this back angled edge off of your roof section is in line with the back face of the wall mounting frame. And we'll go ahead and we install that over the top. Again, I've already put in the 4 T-bolts required to do the assembly. We'll just go ahead and bolt that down. Making sure everything is in line. If it's not quite in position, once you get it stood up onto your foundation and you're aligned with your wall, you can do your final assembly. However you look at this on any of these frames, it's a point to be mentioned, is that when you come to put your glazing in, it's going to square your frame. There's no question of that. So try and get the alignment as close as you can. Once you've completed the 2 corners, the next thing you want to start assembly, and I've gone ahead and put the bolts in on this one, is you want to put your glazing bar and bolt it into position. Then you've got your side door frame and your header bar here. You want to get those connected and tightened up. Now again, remember that you need to put a T-bolt in both the door side frame and the glazing bar for the door cross brace. Finally, to complete the top of the section, we need to put 1 bolt here into the wall side frame and the top header, which goes into the hole up here. Final part of the assembly is to install the door cross brace, which I've done using the bolts that we put in earlier. Positioning of this brace, I put it about halfway up the door frame, central. Once you get the unit all together and you've installed your door, then you would put this behind your latch, and then you can adjust it and set it in position and lock it down. This completes the door end assembly. As you can see, the final section would be to install the door itself, and you don't do that until after your glazing and everything else is completed.